Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. And I love Thursdays. I love being Facebook Live on Thursday because I really like the topic that we've been talking about on Thursdays, which is the new normal. And if you've listened to me, you know what that means. It means what does the future look like? Where are we headed? And it's my belief that both real estate and mortgage are going through a huge evolution with a lot of disruption, with almost everything changing. And that in order to survive in the future, in order to thrive in the future, we have to get ready for that new environment, that new outcome. And so I'm calling that the new normal, but really it's just the next horizon. And it's always changing, but we're really going to go through a lot of changes. So this is my, I think, sixth in the series of New Normal. You can check it out. It's on YouTube and quite a few other places if you want to hear it. I've talked about how I think technology is going to impact the industry, about compensation, expenses, profit models, leadership, just my views. And I know hopefully you check them out and you may share some of them, you may not, but hopefully it's thought provoking and it helps you prepare to win in the future. But I wanted to, in a strange way, I wanted to take today's topic of the new normal and actually go backwards and go, well, everything is changing. Everything. The one thing that's not changing is how the importance of humans in a human transaction. Buying a house, getting a mortgage, a lot of it can be automated. There's a lot of technology, there's marketing, there's all sorts of stuff. And for mortgages, there's an assembly line in the fulfillment process. But in the end, that means the last mile. And the last mile of delivering our product, whether it's a house or a mortgage, it's a very human road. Meaning we come alongside the consumer and we help them achieve attaining a house or getting their financing, right? And so if you think of the term the last mile, it's really a logistics term. It's what happens and you think of it a lot of times in logistics or shipping. You think of that you have to take a product, I don't call it a yo-yo, from China and get it to a 6-year-old kid in Cincinnati. The easiest part is getting it, the easiest part is closest to the source. So putting a ton of yo-yos in a container ship and ship it across the ocean is the easiest part. But taking those million yo-yos and just distributing them around the country gets complicated. And not only does it get more complicated, which is delivering the last mile, not only is it more complicated, but it's the most critical part of the process for the consumer because it's where the consumer has the most interaction with the company and its representatives and its process. And what means the most. If you're buying a yo-yo that comes from China, you, as a consumer, you're never going to see the manufacturing plant. You're not going to see or touch the boat it came on, or you're not going to see all the distribution points. What you're going to experience is when you receive it, right? Well, say you get it in the mail, how the package looks and how it feels. And that is magnified when it's a service instead of a product, right? The last mile for us, that is helping convert a goal or a desire of a consumer to buy a house to handing them the keys. They can't do it in the end without us, or they don't want to do it without us. And so we serve them in the most important part of the journey, which is the last mile. I didn't first do this, but most recently this concept struck me at Housing Wires, the gathering, and somebody from stage was up there. They're talking about all the changes in real estate, the NAR settlement, and they're citing all the changes and all the fear and all the things that are real. And then they go, but the truth is, it's all about the last mile, as they're encouraging the crowd, and we deliver the last mile, right? So I love that concept. I was at Inman Connect a couple weeks ago. Mike Del Preti was one of the speakers on the first day. I think he possibly gave the best presentation of the day. Mike, if by any chance you're listening to this, you did a fantastic job. He sent out a link to his presentation, a link to YouTube that has his presentation, which I posted on my LinkedIn. So if this interests you, this topic I'm about to talk about, you can go to my LinkedIn, check out his presentation. It's 22 minutes. It's great. I'm only going to talk about one little piece from his presentation, and there's probably well over a dozen great takeaways. Really good stuff, and he does great stuff. Subscribe to him. But he ended his presentation with this section that he called the last mile problem, and I'm gonna share with you what it is, and then I'm just gonna really encourage us, that I'll get to it, but I'm gonna encourage us to step into the opportunity. So here's some. I'm gonna just share some of his statistics, and I'm gonna share a story of my own. So Mike's company ran an experiment where they sent secret shoppers out into the market to see how real estate agents responded to them. And they did two things. There was two types of tests. One is their secret shopper would contact a local real estate agent online asking for information about a house for sale, right? So, what we would believe to be a ready, willing, and able home buyer contacted an agent for information on their website and said, "Hey, I'm interested in this house." How many agents responded? Only 65% of people got a response, right? Only 65%. And of the 65% that got a response, 12 of it was just an automated response. And the math loosely means that all the people in the study that contacted real estate agents for information on a house, only half of them got a call back, right? Only half of them got a call back. And then the point here in the last mile, companies can build all this great technology and use all this sophistication and build out these CRM systems with these journeys, these contact points, and build this wonderful marketing. They can build all this stuff out, but it doesn't go anywhere unless we get the last mile down, right? If we don't call a customer back, all that technology doesn't matter, right? And so sometimes we fear we're going to be replaced by AI, or we're going to be replaced by technology, or all these things. We're not going to be replaced if we master the last mile, if we do the basics, blocking and tackling. Now, his study actually gets a little bit more surprising, because the next thing they did is they sent secret shoppers into open houses. And these secret shoppers, they posed as ready, willing, and able buyers that were interested in that property. And they went to about 100 open houses around the country, from 30 different companies. And they did each company at least twice, so they try to get more than one sample set. And they just wanted to see, gosh, how were these people received? So here's the first thing. Of the secret shoppers, of the 100, 42 of them, or 42%, were not asked for their contact information. So a ready, willing, and able buyer came into the house, walked around, looked around, and said, "Thanks so much." And the agent didn't ask them for their contact information. 42%. Right? And then of the ones that gave their contact information, maybe I want to get this right. Of the ones that gave their contact information, only 38% got a follow-up of any sort, right? So 42%, we didn't collect their information. And then of the ones we collected the information, we only got a hold of about a third of them. If you do the math, what this means is about 80% of ready, willing, and able buyers that went into an open house looking for information on real estate did not get a follow-up from the agent. And these are people that want to buy a house, right? That's crazy. That is really crazy and surprising, because what's more important than following up? If you're a real estate agent or a loan officer, if you're a real estate agent, what's more important than following up with a buyer that wants to buy a house? Like, what's more important in your world than that? Or if you're a loan officer, what's more important than following up with a borrower that wants to get a loan? It's amazing, though, how we build these obstacles to keep us from doing the simple things. And that's where I'm saying, taking a step back from the new normal. Maybe the new normal is just better execution, right? It's making sure no crumb goes to want. Like we maximize every opportunity. Like that's going to be the anchor for us in the last mile on the people portion, is our execution, to optimize everything. But it was a shocking thing. It's surprising. And by the way, when I was a street loan officer, I had a whole lot of follow-up problems. I constantly let leads slip through the cracks. I constantly didn't follow up with people. I wasn't always on. I was a mess. I kept my leads on spreadsheets, and a lot of them were handwritten, and my CRM was just my memory. And so if I forgot about you, I forgot about you. and in the future, that's unacceptable. The client isn't going to accept that. Like they're not going to have the grace to go, hey, yeah, get back to me whenever you want, and if you don't come get back to me, I'll just hunt you down until I connect with you. That's not the consumer of the future, man. They are judging us everywhere, and the competition is fierce. And so we have to improve our execution. Now I'm gonna share a personal story because you go, gosh, now Mike's these test cases, we could be, maybe there's some excuse for it. Like maybe we can explain it away. There's something that we don't understand, on how it happened. But I'll give you a similar experience. My wife Linda and I were looking to buy a house. We want to buy a second home, and we know what we want to buy. We know essentially where we want to buy, and so in our first foray, we saw a home we kind of liked, on a lake kind of thing, and we contacted the real estate agent that had the listing for the home we kind of liked, and we said, hey, look, we're interested in buying a house on a lake. It's going to be a second home, and we see this listing you have. We're interested, right? So first thing, it took the person 2 days to call us back. The agent 2 days calls back, which we were okay with it, and she called Belinda back and chatted with Belinda for like 5 minutes, and let her know that the house had just gone into contract, which is perfectly fine. And then that was the last we've heard of her, right? Which to me is surprising. We are definitely ready, willing, and able buyers. We're highly motivated, and we communicated that. We contacted her on a listing, which was in the end not available, and that was the end of the relationship with that realtor. She didn't follow up and go, hey, but I'm an expert in the area. I can help you find another house, or hey, I'm a listing specialist, but we're the best buyer's agents. Let me get you in front of somebody. Nothing, zero. And all that is that kind of, for me, substantiates the information that Mike shared in his presentation. And it just reminds me that sometimes we have to focus on the easiest things, not the hardest things. Like we can get overwhelmed with all this technology, all this change, AI, NAR settlement, margin, everything can overwhelm us. But nothing should overwhelm us to the point that we can't call back a customer. Anyway, that is a new normal today. Thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. I know I'm a little early today. Matter of fact, the sun's not quite up. I got a full day of appointments up at Orange County. I can't wait for those people I get to meet with today. Thank you. Thank you for checking out my Facebook Live. I hope you're getting something out of it. If you like the concept of the new normal, go back through my series. I really like this topic. So I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.